You're trying to explain yourself. Maybe it's something important, how you feel, what you need, why something hurt you, and the person you're talking to just doesn't get it. They misinterpret your words. They make assumptions. They respond to something you didn't even say. And suddenly, something shifts inside you. Your throat tightens. Your mind goes blank. The words that were so clear just moments ago evaporate. You can feel yourself pulling back, shutting down, going quiet. And then comes the frustration, directed at yourself. Why can't I just speak up? Why do I always do this? Why am I so weak? Here's what I need you to understand. What you're experiencing isn't the character flaw. It's not a sign of weakness or poor communication skills. What's happening when you shut down is a nervous system response, a deeply wired automatic survival mechanism that activates when your brain perceives a threat to your emotional or psychological safety. When you go quiet, withdraw, or feel like you can't access your words during conflict or misunderstanding, your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you. This response is called dorsal vagal shutdown, and it's one of the oldest defense mechanisms in the mammalian nervous system. Here's the basic idea. Your autonomic nervous system has three main states. First, there's the ventral vagal state, your social engagement system. This is where you feel safe, connected, and capable of communicating. Second, there's the sympathetic state, your fight or flight response. When you feel threatened, your body mobilizes energy. Third, there's the dorsal vagal state, your freeze or shutdown response. When the threat feels overwhelming, your nervous system hits the brakes, hard. This is what happens when you're misunderstood. Your brain perceives the misunderstanding as a threat to your sense of safety, belonging, or identity. And instead of mobilizing to fight, your system decides the safest option is to shut down. You're not choosing this. It's not a decision. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body, running from your brainstem down through your heart, lungs, and digestive system. There are two branches of the vagus nerve. The ventral branch, newer, involved in social connection, and the dorsal branch, older, involved in shutdown and conservation. When you're in a conversation and suddenly feel misunderstood, your brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, gets activated. If the threat feels manageable, you might move into fight or flight. You argue, you defend, you try harder to explain. But if the threat feels too big, maybe because you've been misunderstood repeatedly, maybe because the relationship feels fragile, your dorsal vagal system kicks in. Your heart rate actually slows down. Blood flow to your brain decreases slightly. Your muscles go slack. You might feel foggy, disconnected, or like you're watching the conversation from behind glass. This is your body saying, "This is too much. I can't fight this. I can't flee. The safest thing I can do is disappear." One of the most frustrating parts of shutdown is losing access to language. You had things to say, and now, nothing. This happens because shutdown reduces activity in your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for language, reasoning, and complex thought. You're literally operating from a more instinctual, survival-focused part of your brain. And that part doesn't have words. This is why trying to force yourself to just say something in these moments often backfires. You're trying to access a part of your brain that's currently offline. Here's where it gets even more important. Your nervous system remembers. If you grew up in an environment where being misunderstood led to punishment, shame, or emotional abandonment, your nervous system learned that misunderstanding equals danger. Your nervous system doesn't forget those patterns. So now, even in safe relationships, even with people who genuinely care about you, misunderstanding can trigger that old protective response. Shutdown is protective in the moment. It helps you survive emotionally overwhelming situations. But when it becomes your default response, it creates real problems. You might find yourself unable to advocate for yourself in relationships, avoiding conflict entirely, even when it's necessary, feeling misunderstood more because you can't express yourself. And here's the painful cycle. The more you shut down, the more misunderstood you feel. The more misunderstood you feel, the more your nervous system flags communication as dangerous. So how do we break this cycle? The answer isn't to force yourself to override shutdown. It's to give your nervous system new information. The first step is awareness. Shutdown doesn't happen instantly. There's usually a window, sometimes just a few seconds, between the moment you start to feel misunderstood and the moment you fully shut down. Learn to recognize your early warning signs. These might include a tightness in your throat or chest, a sudden wave of fatigue or heaviness, a feeling of distance or disconnection. When you notice these signs, name what's happening. You can even say it out loud. I'm starting to shut down. When you feel shutdown starting, your instinct might be to fight it or push through it, but that usually makes it worse. Instead, try this. Anchor yourself in your body. Feel your feet on the ground. Press them down. Notice the sensation of contact. Place one hand on your chest or stomach. Feel the warmth of your hand. Feel your breath, even if it's shallow. What you're doing here is giving your nervous system a gentle signal. I'm here, I'm in my body, I'm safe. Here's something most people don't realize. You don't have to respond immediately. When you're feeling misunderstood and shutdown is creeping in, it's okay to say, I need a minute to think about this. Can we pause? Taking a break, even just 2 minutes, can allow your nervous system to reset slightly. Sometimes the reason you can't speak is because the act of speaking, being seen, being heard, feels too vulnerable in the moment. If that's the case, try externalizing your thoughts in another way. Write it down, text it, email it. There's no rule that says important communication has to be verbal in the moment. Here's a powerful reframe. What if you told the people in your life about your shutdown response before it happens? In a calm moment, when you're not in conflict, you could say, when I feel misunderstood, I sometimes shut down. It's not personal. I just need a pause. This does 2 things. First, it takes the shame out of shutdown. Second, it gives the other person a framework. For most people, shutdown is a situational response. But for some, shutdown is a more persistent state, especially if you've experienced significant trauma. If you find yourself in a near constant state of emotional numbness, disconnection, or shutdown, even when you're not in conflict, it might be worth exploring this with a therapist. Shutdown isn't something you need to eliminate or fix. It's information. When you shut down, your nervous system is telling you something. Instead of shaming yourself, ask, what is my nervous system trying to protect me from? Sometimes the answer is nothing. I'm actually safe. My nervous system is just being overly cautious. And sometimes the answer is, this person isn't safe. My shutdown is protecting me from real danger. Your shutdown isn't the enemy. It's a messenger. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not failing at communication. You're a person with a nervous system that learned at some point that shutting down was the safest option. And that system is still trying to protect you. The work isn't to override that protection. The work is to slowly, gently show your nervous system that you have other options now. Start with one tool. Notice your shutdown. Anchor in your body. Buy yourself time. See what shifts. You're not too much. You're not too fragile. You're a human being learning to navigate a nervous system that's doing its best to keep you safe. And that's not something to fix. It's something to understand, to work with, and ultimately, to honor. You're exactly where you need to be.